Recently, I uploaded a video talking about why I got banned from Hypixel and no longer have the YouTube rank, and let me tell you, I got cooked in the comments. But it wasn't for the reason you'd expect. No, nobody actually cared about what I did. The main problem was, believe it or not, the length of the video. Wow, I talked for a whole 18 minutes before admitting what I did? How despicable. I must have been purposely stretching the video for watch time and money. I mean, just look at how much I made from... Yeah, those copyrighted songs really do get you. I mean, if I was stretching the video for watch time, I wouldn't have hit that shiny upload button after realizing the video would be demonetized, but as you'll soon learn in this video, it wasn't actually supposed to be that long. In fact, the whole reason I'm making a second video about this isn't to milk the situation as you may assume, but because if I were to include all of this in the first video, it literally would have been over 40 minutes long. But with that being said, I've heard your prayers, I've listened to the criticism, and I promise to make this video less than 12 minutes long, and in a moment I'll also include some timestamps on screen so that if you only want to hear one thing in particular, you can just skip right to it. Hopefully that'll finally allow you to make it through a full YouTube video without getting so bored that you have to go to the comments and inquire about my degree in yapping. But if not, let me know and I will be happy to include some Subway Surfers gameplay and GTA cars driving down the ramps just for your viewing purposes. Now before I show the timestamps, there is one thing I'd like everyone to hear, actually mainly just the people telling me I could have summarized the video in 2 minutes. Allow me to let you in on a little secret. Contrary to popular belief, I am actually not an AI chatbot where you can just ask a question and immediately receive an answer. No, I'm actually something called a content creator. What that means is, when I'm tasked with revealing why I no longer have a rank on a Minecraft server, sure, I could have just made a community post or a quick 2-minute video saying I made a mistake, but I am a YouTuber. Of course I'm gonna make a story out of it. Of course I'm gonna record an hour of background footage, and of course I'm gonna be making jokes throughout the video. To say I should have summarized it in 2 minutes is like telling the makers of Lord of the Rings that their 6-hour movie series could have been summarized in a 5-minute cinematic. It's like, I guess it could have, but you're missing the point. We are content creators and storytellers, not summarizers. Anyways, here are the timestamps. I promise I'll get straight to the point with each topic this time, but feel free to skip ahead if you'd like. Alright, so I'll talk briefly about how and why the video ended up so long, because as I mentioned, I actually didn't want it to be 24 minutes long. In fact, I was actually so frustrated with how long the video was that I actually messaged 80 asking if I should make 2 videos out of it, which is why we're here today, because I'd already pulled an all-nighter working on it for 8 hours straight and was still nowhere near completion. But why would I be frustrated? I mean, I'm the one who made the video that long in the first place, right? Well, not exactly. You see, when I make these documentary-style videos, I don't actually use a script, but rather just a few bullet points that I elaborate on. So the bullet points I ended up going with were basically as simple as follows. Number 1, talk about why I'm busy so that people will understand why I had no time to play the game. Number 2, talk about the state of duels so that people who haven't been keeping up with Minecraft will understand the cheater infestation. Next, I'll talk about having to re-record the video a dozen times. I wanted to talk about my 99 win streak attempt and how that affected me, and then I wanted to talk about what I actually ended up doing in detail. There were actually a few more bullet points, but as I mentioned, after spending the whole night editing, I realized that I should probably just make a separate video, otherwise it would have been way too long. My thought process was that with a sensitive video like this, including too much information would be a lot better than not including enough, because I'd much rather leave everyone a little upset that they had to spend a whole 20 minutes watching my video than to have a 2-minute video and leave everyone without any context or explanation about it whatsoever. All I really would have been able to say in 2 minutes is, hey guys, I made a mistake. I got frustrated recording a video and wanted to take the easy way out. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Now, in terms of elaborating on each of my bullet points in a detailed yet somewhat entertaining way, I think I did a decent job. Like, I'm pretty sure the only people who were actually upset about the length were the people who were expecting to just click on the video, get their answer right away, and then leave. Because I think a lot of my longtime viewers actually don't mind me going into detail. I mean, maybe you don't want to hear about the state of the duels community, but some of my viewers do, and they appreciated the attention to detail. To put it simply, if you watch the video expecting a quick answer, of course you'll be upset and bored. But if you watch it with the mindset of expecting to just listen to an entertaining story, I think I did alright. The part I will say was still way too long was the beginning, where I was talking about why I was busy. I think I talked for around 7 minutes about my summer schedule, and I think that's the main reason everyone was so upset, because it seems like it had no relevance whatsoever to what I actually did. So why exactly was that part so long then? Well, as I said before, I use bullet points instead of a script, so when I start recording my voiceovers, I don't have a clue on how long I'm gonna end up talking for. It's only really at the end when I realized where I should have been more concise or where I should have gone into even more detail, but I guess I ended up losing track of time and rambling too much about my schedule in the beginning. And of course, that naturally made the rest of the video seem too long relatively, and I too was upset about that, because as you can probably guess, the longer I end up talking for, the more editing I have to do. Lastly, I got some comments saying I should have just revealed what I did early on in the video and explained afterwards, but the problem with that is, and you'll only really know this as a YouTuber, but I knew a video of this nature would be seen by more than just my subscribers. And you can bet those people aren't gonna care about who I am or what my content's all about whatsoever. So if I open the video with something like, hey guys, I lost YouTube rank because I did this, here's why. Well then all of the people who clicked on the video just to hear why I got banned are gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll move on with my day now. Do you think they're gonna stay to hear my explanation? Absolutely not. No, before I even finish telling what I did, they've already clicked onto the next video and will forever think of me as just that one mistake. So yes, for the same reason I haven't once mentioned what I did in this video, I wanted to give context and explanation first, because I knew if I put it last, almost nobody would get to hear it, and in my opinion, the context was the most important part of the video. So for those of you saying, wow, it took you 18 minutes to admit that, no, it's not like this was an interrogation where I was avoiding the question and you finally got my confession after 18 minutes. The whole video itself was the explanation, and the very fact that I took the time to make a full-length video to completely expose myself and reveal information that was not public, I mean, that should probably tell you in itself that I was not here to make excuses. I just had a lot of backstory to get through first. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, we can now continue from where I left off in the last video, right after I got banned. Now, getting banned is a little different as a YouTube rank than it is for regular players, because instead of getting a temporary ban screen that you can just wait out and be done with, YouTube ranks actually get permanently banned and are instead required to write an email to the Hypixel creator team explaining how badly they screwed up. Naturally, I could have made up some story about how my account got hacked, or it was my friend's cousin's girlfriend's brother's librarian who was on my account, but they have so many different ways to check login dates and locations and whatnot, so I would have just ended up looking like a fool. Instead, I took the time to write a massive email to Hypixel including basically all of the stuff that I talked about in my last video. I told them I had no malicious intent behind it and just wanted to give myself a fighting chance at finishing the video within the next decade, but since I have lots of subscribers, they actually gave me special treatment in my ban appeal, and they let me off with a slap on the wrist, unbanning me instantly and allowing me to get away with stuff that everyone else can't. Or at least that's what a lot of my comments on the last video seemed to think would happen, but this could not be farther from the truth. Now with that being said, I am indeed unbanned from Hypixel right now, and some of you have seen me online over the past month or so, which naturally prompted many to assume that I was let off easy with a warning or something. Or maybe I made some kind of deal with Hypixel where if I agree to give them all my video revenue for the next 10 years, they'll unban me from their server. Well, unfortunately for Hypixel, they will not be getting any of my revenue because there was no deal at all. In fact, there was nothing special going on either. When I finally got a response to my email, all they basically said was, "Hello, thanks for contacting Hypixel. You are correct to state that your alternate account was breaking our rules. Is there anything you would like to say for yourself?" And I was like, no, I just said everything in my last email. Did you even read what I typed? I basically had to restate everything I said in my first email and then wait another couple days for their second response. I mean, it's not like we could have just skipped that step or anything. I mean, that was super necessary. Anyways, a couple days later, I received their final email. They were like, "Hello, thank you for your honesty and patience in this situation. However, all we can offer you in return is this copy and pasted message letting you know that you are losing both your rank and your ability to play or record videos on our server. See you in 30 days. And that was pretty much all there is to it. I had to wait out my ban like anyone else would, and seeing as this incident happened in September, I had already served my punishment by the time the initial video came out. I will say that I would have liked them to handle the situation a little differently, and I don't mean they should have given me special treatment or let me off with a warning or anything. In fact, I literally told them in my email that I'm not writing to make excuses, but rather to take accountability and that I do deserve to lose the YouTube rank, but I certainly would have liked to have an actual conversation with someone about this rather than having to wait days to receive copy and pasted messages. It's like when you make a mistake at work and show up the next day to find that you're locked out and can only communicate via carrier pigeons. "Please let me in. It's cold out here." And they're like, "Explain yourself." And after you spend 4 hours fully admitting and detailing exactly what happened, they're like, "Okay, well, we didn't really need to hear that because we already made our decision 2 months ago, but we just wanted to make things exciting for you." With that being said, let's talk a little about what this means for the future of my channel, my future on Hypixel, and my closing thoughts about the situation. So I think it's important to remember that I am a content creator whose only purpose is really just to make videos for you guys to enjoy. Hypixel has served as an amazing platform throughout the years to allow me to do that, but it doesn't mean I can't do that without Hypixel. The point is, my success and enjoyment as a YouTuber is not defined by the color of my name on a Minecraft server that I don't play. The YouTube rank was given to me as recognition for my accomplishments and to make it easier to record on their server, and I did work insanely hard to earn it throughout the years, but the truth is, I'm just not really that upset about losing it, and I don't see myself reapplying for it in the future. Here is why. As grateful as I am and as much as I loved having it, I just didn't really use it. And not only that, but there were actually times I didn't want it. Now, before you say I'm coping or trying to make myself feel better, let me remind you that it's been an entire year since I've played any games on my main account. Not only do I record everything on my alts, but I also never used any of the YouTube ranks features. So why were there times I didn't want it? Well, it's nearly impossible to play unnicked without getting targeted solely because of the color of your name, and you'd think switching to non-sweaty games like arcade or housing would help, but all that does is make the entire lobby shout things like, wow, who's this YouTube rank I've never watched because I'm a housing main? He must be irrelevant. Hypixel really gives YouTube ranks to anyone nowadays. I mean, maybe that only happens to me because I am irrelevant, but you get the point. So through a combination of accomplishing all my goals for my main account, not needing the rank for anything, and also just the fact that the rank has lost so much value and respect, I just didn't feel like having it was anything special anymore. Now, because of this, I got a ton of comments on my last video saying I was ungrateful or insincere, saying I was making excuses for 20 minutes. I even had comments saying I was trying to use mental health to justify what I did. So let me just say this one last time, this was not an apology video. I didn't get canceled, I didn't get exposed, I just made a mistake and wanted to fix it. The only way to learn from mistakes is to take accountability, and that's exactly what I was doing. So pardon me for wanting to do it in the style that I make literally all of my videos, but if that's how you're gonna react to me publicly exposing myself in full detail for your entertainment, I'll just stay silent next time. There were also comments saying I should have just moved on from the video idea before making the mistake, but if it was really that easy, there would be no such thing as the sunk cost fallacy. Every gambler in the world would just quit after wasting all their time and money trying to win without any success. Now, for those of you wondering if I've cheated in the past, I don't blame you, and there's nothing I can explicitly say to prove that I haven't, but I can say this. Firstly, I've recorded pretty much everything I've ever done in the game and will continue to upload old footage, so I think it's pretty clear I don't cheat in my videos. I mean, I take like 1,000 blocks of knockback and rarely ever get sketchy hits, but if that doesn't prove anything, how about the fact that of the hundreds of thousands of players I've fought, I've rarely ever gotten accusated or previously punished on any server, and I think the very fact that you're watching me rack up a win streak on Minemen should tell you that I'm probably just a good player, not a closeter. But lastly, and most importantly, you are all entitled to your own opinion. That's right, I can't force you to think I've never cheated. I'm not out here trying to be the best player or to preach being legit. I'm just making videos for your enjoyment. So even if I b-hopped in all of my videos, it wouldn't change that. Now before I go, I want to say once again that I do regret what I did and I've learned from it. I've taken accountability and I will move forward and come back stronger. I really should not have let my frustration dictate my decisions, and I'm sorry for letting you all down. I'll put some more information in the description if you want to read that, but at the end of the day, it's night. Thanks for watching.